I love the discussion. This is exactly the mindset shift as we are discussing here more than anything else. Nicole, you mentioned about making sure we define metrics and KPIs, and especially in the early stages where it takes time to build the dashboards. You mentioned about either using dashboards or newsletters. Can you elaborate a little bit more for us on what are some of the KPIs or metrics that you have used at Roku and the channel that you have used? Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, we spend a lot. I'm really lucky I have some really strong research partners. We have an entire international UX research team, and they spend a lot of time understanding total addressable market and how resonant the current UI feels for these different markets. So find those folks to help you with this. But you have to get into total addressable market, or TAM, right? And understanding, I don't know, what is the understanding, like how much money people have, expendable income people in my business, expendable income people have to buy something like a Roku or to subscribe to different channels. I'm really fortunate, again, like I said, I don't have to do all that myself. It already exists. But when we talk to someone about localizing into a new language, and that's another thing we should address is, I think people used to think of our teams as just throw it over the wall and they'll translate into the languages I tell them to translate into. Your power comes in looking at the other opportunities out there, maybe other language variants or countries that are adjacent to where, you know, you're selling your services, or you're seeing traction, and speaking back to the organization saying, I think there's an opportunity in X, Y, and Z country, right? So I don't think I know there are localization organizations out there that do that, but we as an industry need to do more of that, take a more active role in pursuing what those next opportunities are. So you're looking at like total addressable market, income for those markets to understand, like, do people have the income to purchase these devices, for example, for Roku? That's mostly the ones that we review. And, you know, total population comes into play with total addressable market. And how much money for us, again, how much folks spend on competitors or something very similar. So for us, it's streaming, like how many people are watching, and this is kind of not a competitor, but because we're kind of a strange product that toes the line between like streaming and hardware, but like how much money are people spending on Netflix in this country? How much money are they spending on Disney Plus streaming? So we kind of look at those things too. So check out your competitors and what they've been able to do in the market so far as well. And then I socialize those numbers mostly, we're not doing it quite yet, but we'll socialize those numbers through our, like a brand new newsletter that we're launching. That's the most effective vehicle. Roku communicates in what they call 180s, and folks send an update about their team every week. I don't know that we have that much to share right now, so we're moving to a monthly newsletter, but that's something that's really important, is to understand how your organization communicates and then to tap into that. Because if you're trying to drag them to something they're not familiar with, like say you want the marketing team to look at your dashboard in Jira, they're gonna look at you and be like, I'm not gonna do that, right? So you have to understand like how you can radiate the information to your largest audience possible. And you may have to do two different versions. Like, do you need a Jira dashboard and a newsletter? I don't know. Maybe your engineers want to look at Jira and your marketing team wants that email. So that's really important too.
Did that answer your question, Garima?
Thank you. Yeah, and I love that sometimes dashboards can be overwhelming. So making sure that building out the insights from it and channelizing that to the right partners is extremely important. But thank you. That's really helpful.